As one NFL player slowly recovers from a concussion, another calls for elimination of ugly hits. For Davante Adams, the time to do something about ugly hits that result in concussions is now. For David Irving, recovery is still the primary concern, with symptoms of his concussion lingering after more than a month. With their NFL team's playoff hopes dashed, the two players spoke out this week about scary concussions they suffered during a season in which the league was forced to reassess its protocol. Adams, the Green Bay Packers wide receiver, suffered one of the most frightening injuries early in the season when he was carted off the field and taken to a hospital after a hit by Bears linebacker Danny Trevathan in late September. Adams missed no games, until Week 15, when Thomas Davis of the Panthers hit him with an illegal block that sent him back into protocol and ended his season. Both Trevathan and Davis served one-game suspensions for what Adams said were real ugly hits, but the effects on Adams were far worse. "You have to do something about it," Adams said Tuesday, via ESPN. "I feel like what they're doing in college, with its targeting rule, they review it or whatever. Having it in place would definitely help, but we'll see how they take care of it." The NFL plans to consider a targeting rule in the offseason and took a step to change its concussion policy after Texans quarterback Tom Savage suffered a concussion that left him lying on the field with his arms flailing. As it struggles with getting athletes off the field and into treatment, there are sobering stories, such as the one told by the Cowboys' Irving. Convinced he's living with CTE, former Chiefs running back Larry Johnson battles self-destructive impulses. "It's hard to put my words in order," the 24-year-old defensive lineman said in his first interview since suffering a concussion November 30 against the Redskins, via the Dallas News. "I'll be talking and I'll know what I want to say, but then when it's time to talk, I can't say it. I look like a deer caught in headlights. I couldn't have said that weeks ago. I wouldn't have thought of that. But yeah, it's getting better, getting easier." Irving immediately felt disoriented, but didn't tell coaches, doctors or trainers. The next day, he began experiencing headaches, and worse. "It was confusion, just forgetting things," said Irving, who missed the last 4 games of the season. "It did scare me at first. For a while it didn't seem like it was getting better. I've never really had one this bad. The headaches and other symptoms come and go. I'll be looking for my phone and it's like right in my hand and I'm just looking everywhere for it," Irving said, but that hasn't happened for a couple of weeks now. The league's protocol drew attention earlier in the season when the Seahawks' Russell Wilson entered the tent for evaluation and exited within seconds. The NFL and NFL Players Association jointly investigate the handling of concussion cases, and the Seahawks were fined $100,000 for not following protocol. The Texans escaped punishment for how they handled the Savage injury. Just before Christmas, it announced that it was tweaking the protocol by, among other things, placing a central unaffiliated neurotrauma consultant in the league's command center for all games. "We are constantly looking at the protocol and how it's applied and trying to get better," Alan Sills, the NFL's chief medical officer, told ESPN. "The process happens through the season." Irving and Adams now enter a long stretch of the offseason in which to heal. Adams, who last week signed a 4-year, $58.75 million contract extension that makes him one of the NFL's highest-paid receivers despite having had 3 concussions over the past 14 months, has been cleared by doctors. This last one, by Davis, "It's tough because everybody saw how it looked and I think people overreacted a little bit with some of it," said Adams, 25. "But just taking precaution, you don't want to be stupid out there with head injuries and things like that. It's not like I'm falling and hitting my head and getting concussions. It's people out here doing malicious things to take me off the field. When it happens twice, it kind of gets to you a little bit, and you just want to be a little safe and take precautions and make sure you're not damaging yourself long term." Irving seemed ready to chalk the experience up to bad luck. "I guess some just last this long," Irving said. "They say they either last a day or a month, So I just got unlucky this time. It's nothing serious. It should be alright. Read more from the Post. Andy Dalton has over 100,000 reasons for thinking he's the hottest guy in Buffalo Power ranking the NFL playoffs. Patriots, Steelers and Vikings lead the way. What about UCF? Scott Frost says conscious effort kept his team out of college football playoff after the NFL's Black Monday. There now are 6 coaching